Hey YouTube! Playing my now trusty old FGN, even though I only had it for a month, with my demonstration guitar. And this is I've literally just turned. What am I demoing? Oh, I'll show you. I've literally just turned this on 2 seconds ago, so I will unplug it. It sounds pretty good though, I think. I don't think it's actually got an off switch on it. Oh, standby. It's got a standby. Anyhow, this I actually borrowed off my pal a couple of months ago, and he gave me the wrong power supply. But this is a VOX MV50 boutique with woodette front panelling. I do know one of my other pals has got one of these. He's got the metal one, heavy metal or something it's called. I think it's got like a, instead of having a sort of wood panel bit, it's got like a checker plate dirt barry thing. It's maybe a Mesa Boogie type affair. I'm not really sure exactly what the boutique one is going for, but it's a 50 watt amp, and this is a new tube, NU, like new metal. So it's got like, I remember seeing these coming out recently. I think they've actually discontinued them. So on the back we've got a speaker output, obviously it doesn't have a speaker in it, and an impedance, which is 4 ohms, 8 ohms or 16 ohms, and it's at 4 ohms it's 50 watt, 8 ohms 25 watt, 16 ohms 12.5 watt. So if you've got a 4 ohm cabinet, mine's 8, so I'm technically 25 watt. An EQ flat and deep, standby on an eco, which I'd imagine probably turns off the lights in it for whatever reason you've got to do that. So I'll plug it back in again. It's got, I'm quite pleased it's got a little bit of weight to it. It's not like, I think, well, pretty sure that's a metal casing on it. And then standby on again. Yeah, also it lights up and you can see that looks like a spaceship inside. It's got a VU meter on the front as well, and I'm running it there through my usual 3x12 cabinet. You got to plug it. Yeah. So there's no pedals on just now, but it's not going. I'm not going straight in. I'm going through a few turned off pedals. So that's the volume and the gain at what, I don't know. What would you say that was? 12 o'clock, 10 o'clock on both of them. And it sounds flippin' marvellous, it really does. Yeah, so I mean, I suppose we've got to try turn the gain up a bit. It's output level. The VU meter's output level, not input level, because it's barely registering when I'm whacking the strings. So trying to gun the gain at full. So that's the tone just at 12 o'clock. Level at, oh, what would that be? At 9 o'clock? 9 o'clock and then gain it. I'll turn the mic round a little bit. put the volume up at half. Get a bit more noise. Jesus! Tell you what, I'll not turn it up quite as loud as that. That nearly, I nearly fell over there, nearly jumped out my skin. So I mean, yeah. Okay, it's maybe a bit noisy with the. So there's all the dials. Now the VU meter's doing something. Now that's well louder than I would normally play, so I'm going to turn that down a little bit. But wow, really? It's not a big thing. It sounds huge. So it passes my no fidgeting about with it to make a good sound. It's just like, yeah, that's fine. Even the distortion one or the clean one, that's that. Why not? I mean, fair enough. It's like we are running it through, you know, a big cabinet, but it's it's definitely loud enough for rehearsals. And it's probably loud enough to gig as well. It doesn't have any sort of DI on it, but I suppose if you DI the guitar or you know put a mic in front of the cabinet, giggable, no problem. Switch in the back that did, what was it, deep and something? It was EQ flat or deep, so that's it flat, this is it deep. I prefer it flat. What were the other options? Eco, off and on. I'd imagine Eco just turns off the lights, does it? Huh, I don't know what Eco does. Does it make it sound any different? Oh, maybe I didn't have it fully. No, I don't know what Eco does. Doesn't seem to do a lot. The other one was standby, the other one was the impedance selector, so I'm not going to go selecting the impedance. So I mean, if you're talking about getting a gig in regular, if you've got like a 4 ohm speaker cabinet, it's 50 watts. That's twice the power it's got there. It's kind of almost ridiculous. I have someone parked right in front of me and I'm expecting something in the post. Is it somebody I recognise? This is my Hermes guy. Okay, I shall pause this, see what happens. Aye. So it was a My Hermes guy returning a guitar, a status quo guitar that I sent, and they parked a forklift on it and smashed it basically, and that's been 3 weeks or something. Yeah, I don't want to get them into trouble, so I won't say anything. But yeah, My Hermes are struggling a bit just now. Maybe I think they were all right during like before, but with the extra Christmas rush and stuff, I think because I mean I sent a guitar down to my pal Blacktooth Fox, the golden goose he's now called it, and I paid it was like a special offer, only £1.50 extra, £2.50 whatever it was, to make it a 24-hour thing, and I sent that on a Tuesday and he got it on the Monday. Yeah, it wasn't 24 hours. I think what's happening is the marketing department or the people running the website up here, yeah, here we go, no problem, come on, give more parcels, great, and then all the poor guys on the street are just going, what? Okay, 5 times as many as I did 2 months ago. Yeah. Anyway, ran over. I'm pleased I got it back. I mean, to be honest, I've never lost a guitar or anything. You're not meant to send guitars with My Hermes, so I'm basically not going to do that anymore. I'll just pay the extra and just do the DPD thing. I've been putting it in. It's like, you know, it's art, not you can type in the description, which I never really noticed before. Read the terms and conditions. Yeah. So whatever we were talking about with the wee VOX boutique, it seems brilliant. I mean, if I was going to run it the way I'm doing, because I've got my pedals in here, so I'm sitting here. That's just I'll turn the gain down a little bit and go for the sort of clean sound I would normally use. Bit of guvnor. put in what appears to be a dodgy switch into my rat, so sometimes it doesn't turn off properly. Need to go onto eBay and order some more 9-pole switches. Yeah, so right up to the point I put the pedals in there, I'm thinking that you can't really tell. Really, I sort of can tell that it's not real tubes, it's that new tube thing. But it's not a bad approximation. And it's a great sounding amp as it is. I mean, that does not sound like a wee piddly thing. I mean, that it's full and big and good. With its own distortion, I thought it sounded pretty good. Because when you put the rat on it, kind of, you can sort of hear it. Maybe not. So the answer is yes, I could tell the difference if you blindfolded me or had the amp through next door and ran the two amps, an amp and against my linear against a tube amp, I could tell the difference. But not maybe if you took me to a different room and start, in a rehearsal room or something like that, and then stuck that on and just didn't let me hear both of them at the same time, I couldn't have told you, I don't think. It sounds fantastic, doesn't it? I don't think these things were that expensive either. My pal Ivor's got one. He got a wee 1x12 cabinet for it, and it's the same thing. It's just like, as I was talking to the guy who actually owns it, my pal Ian, and they've discontinued it, and I think the reason they've kind of discontinued it is like, why is it not a pedal? I mean, it's obviously, look at the size of it. It's small. Well, it's maybe not smaller than the Rat pedal, but it's very close to being the same size as the Rat pedal. Just, it's got this handle on the top, which is a bit dinky. It's like you don't need the handle when you can get your whole hand over it. So I just think that, see if they'd made that basically exactly the same, apart from just make it a pedal, without, or make it so it fits in a pedal board. I don't know what you would maybe not have. Obviously, it wouldn't have to have a foot switch on it, but I just think that, because I mean, if you're talking about, if you're gigging or something and you're running your fantastic boutique, valve head thing that's maybe not super reliable, then if you've got that on your pedal board, I suppose you could have it in your gig bag, but you could just have it on your pedal board, so as soon as if you think the amp's going to blow up, you could test whether it's going to blow up. If your main amp went, it'd just be a case of da-dunk and you'd be onto that, and that'd be totally fine. For me anyway, I could gig that absolutely no problem at all. I'd put a bit more gain on it if I was doing that. There's a sweet spot in that gain. It's really letting the Telecaster sound of the guitar come through. Pretty much anyone could say that was a Telecaster, even though this isn't technically a Telecaster. As I was saying there about the pedals, if I tried turning the knobs a bit on them, I could probably make it respond a little bit better. If I go back to clean, stick a wee bit of a jam in, see what's going. It's responding much more differenter there with when it's got that running through. I wonder if the the sort of tube simulator, the wee new tube thing, because it's concentrating on making the rhythm track, you know, coming through it, sound valvey. When you overload it with something else, it's not really able to cope with it. Twinote fuzz pedal. So, in conclusion, that was a bit of a surprise because you know I hate modern things and I like not valves and like a pure snob. It sounds really flipping good. I'm totally blown away by it, to be honest. Again, it's not a case of yes. I think I can tell. I don't know if you'll be able to tell on YouTube. I could probably have guessed it's not a proper like a real tube amp. Just we nick, but I mean I'm not saying it doesn't sound as good. It's just you can sort of tell if that was the challenge was, is this a tube amp? Is this not a tube amp? Sort of thing. I think I would probably have guessed it wasn't, but it's a very tubey sounding solid state. Well, it's got this new tube thing in it which I don't really know what it is. Oh, I mean, this guitar's fantastic. Absolutely loving it. And it's like, that's really good for showing it off. But I'm really thinking, like for gigging and stuff, it's like really that's... And you're really talking about not having to take an amp with that. Especially, see, like, I'm thinking of... Once the next wave is blown over and we're back to doing gigs, if I'm playing a gig, you know, with Kraken House, the band, where I play guitar in, if you're playing a support slot for 20 minutes or 25 minutes or something like that, and it's like, and there's a cabinet you can borrow, I just don't take anything, I'll just take that. Well, obviously, not that one, it's not mine. But I'll have a wee look out for something like that, because I mean, really that is enough. For me, even talking without any pedals or anything, I can run with that. It might not do the... Well, in fact, does it? Let's see if it does. If I was to crank it up a little bit, can I get my sort of clean? Oh, there's a... Not at that particular setting, but that's kind of the way, because I'm used to playing with the Softtech or the Laney in the rehearsal room, I'm used to kind of being able to clean it up, but the volume doesn't really go down very much. Does that make sense? So I can like, when I'm playing, you know, clean, see, it's not even that clean. At that, and then I go, the volume doesn't go up as that much more with the valve amps, because I think, you know, the volume goes up, and then once it gets to 8 or something on your guitar, it no longer gets any louder, it just gets fatter and more distorted, whereas on that it gets louder. I'm trying to set it up to the sort of distortion. Yeah, so it doesn't do that. But I mean, I kind of do that. I don't do that very much in the house. It's more when I'm in the studio, you know, playing it at volume, and it's like they've got that ability to not have any pedals and be using my Shockenberg, which has only got one pickup in it and a volume control, so I can really throttle back to sort of 5 or 6 on the guitar and hit it softly, and it's clean, and then whack it up to full bang and batter it, and it doesn't. The volume gap is, you know, it's this much louder, but it's much more driven. Sounds like a rat pedal, which that isn't doing. But just use a pedal for the other bit. Just use that twin note. That twin note pedal's great. Pedal's really good. The what's it called? A Pi fuzz. No, I'm not sure it's 100% a fuzz, but I quite like it. It's kind of like a much more. The rat's sometimes a bit MIDI. That's just because it does have like a scoop and tone, and I never really touched those down. It just seems to be a bit more bleh, like this, as opposed to being like this. It's a punch kick header. That's a technical thing. I don't even know if it's a proper Glasgow thing or just my pal Ian used to do that. That's like the best form of attack's a punch kick header. That's when you just go in and just go poof. when you've got attack someone, you just punch them, kick them, and header them at the same time, and then it's just like, ugh. I'm surprised. Maybe Bruce Lee. Maybe I don't think he would have called that called it a punch kick header, but bit of that. Yeah. So yes, I'm very impressed with the VOX Boutique MV50. Really, it needs obviously. I don't say it needs a cabinet. It needs a cabinet. I'm not saying that. In my opinion, it needs a cabinet. You need a cabinet to play it through, otherwise you won't hear it. It might even have I think it had a headphone socket on it. But just the other thing, if you're playing somewhere, going into the rehearsal studio, I would probably rather play through that than one of those horrible JCM 2000s, which I couldn't get a good sound out of. That seems pretty much great. And especially if you're talking about doing like When I was at that Icebox place, did 5 thrash bands on in one night, and it's like, you imagine 5 bands all with 5 guitar amps and all that. I just like the idea of, you wouldn't buy the boutique one, you'd buy the metal one or whatever it is for that, and then you've just got your pedal board with, if you're in a thrash band, distortion, and a metal zone, and that, and you're in there. Definitely, it's definitely giggable for me anyway. With the 8 ohm cabinet, definitely loud enough for me to play along with the drum kit. And if I can play along with the drum kit, then that's loud enough for us to play. And then obviously they would mic it up to put it through the PA and stuff anyway. Yeah, so very impressed. I might even leave that up for the live stream. It's quite. And I'm really not. I'm not feeling compromised at all. If I've got it clean. Clean with it, distortion pedal. So it sounds big and huge, isn't it? I've not even tried touching the tone control. Yeah, the tone control works. Sounds fine in the middle. Wonderful stuff. Malco approves of the VOX MV50, so I might be having a wee look about maybe trying to get something like that. I really like the idea of going to a gig. Maybe not like if you're doing a full whack gig, you're the headliners and stuff like that, but if you're a support band or one of the 4 support bands or whatever it is, or even just having it as a spare in case, touch wood, that the soft tech dies or something like that, that would just be enough. To be honest, I would just play with it. So taking a soft tech, you would need to make sure that somebody had a cabinet there. And I'm playing through a 3x12, and a really good 3x12, which actually, yes, what I'm going to do this afternoon is I'm going to finally, I've never done it, take the front off it because it's got like a grid, and see, because it's got like I don't know if you can see it. It's just a black mass there. It's like the bottom speaker's kind of like at this angle, and then this speaker's kind of like that angle, and this speaker's at that angle, so it's like this one's going that way, this one's going that way, and this one's going sort of up, which I really love because it means that, say, when you're standing here in front of your amp, which happens at gigs, that speaker I can actually hear rather than in a 4x12 when all the speakers are going that way, so you're like, all the sound's getting wafted out and maybe it'll hit the backs of your legs. This one I can actually hear it because it's kind of pointed up at me. So I'm going to take the front off it and hoover it because it's minging, and it was minging when I got it, and I thought I'm going to take the front off that at some point and then hoover it. So I'm going to do that, and I'm also going to take out one of the speakers and see what kind of speakers are in it, because they sound really good. So I'm a better, should I take the speaker out and have a look and see what it is? Because just now I think they might be pure amazing, and then obviously I'm going to, if I take it off, I'm going to open it up, and then they're going to be like replacements, aren't they? They're going to be like Behringers or Tandy, or I don't know, I can't think of a really bad make, but they're going to be really bad, aren't they? And then I'm going to, when I put it back together again, I'm going to listen to it and go, oh, maybe it doesn't sound good. Maybe I'm better just not knowing. I totally approve of the amp. Rocking. Catch you all later. See you in the Sunday stream. Been talking so long the keyboard's turned itself off. So I'll see you on the Sunday stream. Possibly using that amp. In fact, I probably will just use that amp. Actually, there's not really any point playing in the Sunday stream because the sound's pure terrible. So it's much better just now. Rocking. Catch you later.